What's going on, everybody? It's getting late in the year, so we're gonna go down and pick some more watermelon. Specifically, some Melons SweetGlo. Alright, how's everybody doing? Thanks for joining me with another video. We are gonna have semi-close to freezing temperatures tonight, so it is time to get the rest of these watermelon picked and brought in for seeding, even though I think a couple of them are not gonna be quite ready, even though they're fairly large. I think only a couple of them are going to be good for seeds, 3 or 4 at the most maybe. But we got a giant Melons SweetGlo right here. This guy is looking pretty good. You can see right here the tendril, the tendril that's closest to the melon is all completely dried up, but there is no yellow spot on the bottom, but that's partly my own fault because I have moved this melon around several times to get it out of standing water and out of the mud. So just like if you're growing them vertically or up on a trellis or something, you're not going to get that nice yellow spot on the bottom that you're looking for. But we got another one right here. You can see the tendrils pretty much completely dried up. It sounds hollow. That's another thing you want to look for. And then on the bottom, you can see that it's got a fairly good yellow spot. So we're going to take this one and I'm going to snag this other big one right here. Like I said, the tendril's completely dry, but there's no spot on the melon just because I've moved it around probably 6-7 times in the last probably 6 weeks or so. But we're gonna take this guy also. Oh yeah, he's got a little weight to him. So you can see these are the same variety, but you can see this one is much darker in skin. That's what happens when they get bigger and or riper. But you can hear the difference. There's 3 things you want to look for in watermelons when you're picking out ones that are ready to go. Like we already did the tendril, make sure the closest tendril to the watermelon stem is completely dried up. See, these are just starting to dry up. So I might chance these and leave them because we're only supposed to have close to freezing temperatures for a couple nights, and then we're supposed to get back up into the mid to upper 60s for a week and a half. So that might be enough to finish these off. But yeah, you want to look for that tendril. This one's definitely not ready. So, and then on the bottom, you see this one's got a white spot that's just starting to turn yellow. So if we get decent temperatures for another week or so, we should be okay on that one. See, on this one, the tendril is just starting to dry up. Actually got a semi-yellow spot on the bottom of this one. Check this guy here. Actually got a decent yellow spot on that one too. So with those two, we might actually chance those and bring them in today and cut them open since they got a good yellow spot. If the tendril was still green like that and it didn't have a yellow spot or only had a white spot, I would definitely be leaving it, especially if you have growing season left. But we're up here in Minnesota, and It's what, early October, October 5th or 6th today? I can't remember. But last year we had freezing temperatures, like heavy freezing temperatures, early October. So look for those signs when you're picking out a watermelon. Let's take these two guys up to the greenhouse and cut us open some SweetGlo. Now this is supposed to be a delicious tropical flavored orange flesh watermelon that was hybrid. I think it was about 12 years ago, 10 years ago, to create a melon that would be good for the cooler climate growing temperatures. Now this variety is supposed to go from flower to complete harvest in around 70 to 80 days. I think mine took a little longer this year just because of the terrible growing conditions we had. But let's take these up to the greenhouse and see what they look like. All right, welcome to the greenhouse. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on our scale and we're gonna see how much these guys weigh. Here's the smaller of the two I harvested. 9.962. Not bad at all. Ugh. These melons are supposed to weigh anywhere from 7 to 30 pounds, so we'll consider that one average. This guy is 17.1. Not bad at all. Now this is the one without the spot, but it's definitely got a good thump to it that sounds hollow. So we're gonna cut this big huge one open first. Well, the bigger one of the patch. Well, it's not splitting. Well, it's coming apart right there. Would you look at that? Oh, absolutely beautiful. I guess I should have put my camera on the other side to catch the sun better, but holy cow, those, oh, they smell wonderful too. Ooh, that's exciting right there. That is beautiful. Tell me in the comments, do you guys grow more than just typical red watermelon? Or have you tried out the yellows and the pinks and the oranges? And well, I guess this is more of a tangerine than a deep orange. But so this variety was actually created in 2008 by Mike Kessel. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his name, but he's out of Leland County, Michigan, and he took the Crimson Sweet watermelon, which is a big, huge red watermelon. Those puppies can get giant, like 60, 70 pounds. And then he took Orange Glow watermelon, which is another, it's a much deeper orange flesh than this, but the melons, they get oblonged and just huge. I grew them one year at my old farm, and I had probably 6 or 7 of them that were over 25, 30 pounds. But they can get a lot bigger than that. I'm just in Minnesota, so the melons just don't grow ginormous up here like they would in the South, where they're getting a ton of heat and sun way longer than our growing season. Let's give this a little taste test here. That is absolutely delicious. Perfect tangerine colored flesh. It's crisp. It's sweet. Probably could have gone like, it could have used probably 3 or 4 more days of nice hot weather to develop those sugars just a little bit more. But it is so nice. It's an excellent light sweet flavor, crisp. It's very refreshing. That's good stuff right there. Well, now that we know that one looks awesome, we're gonna go ahead and put that one to the side. And we're gonna cut open the smaller one. Now this one had the tendril that was completely dried up. It sounds hollow, but it does have that nice yellow spot on the bottom. Probably could have gone a little more because you got a little bit of green right here, but hopefully we lucked out and the tendril was correct. And it kind of sounds like it was okay. That's a good sign when the watermelon starts splitting before you even get to the bottom. Okay, so this one was slightly early. Now you can tell because these seeds are just starting to turn brown. So if you save seed for watermelon, you don't want to buy, I mean, some of these might grow right here, but I'm not going to save seed out of any of this watermelon whatsoever, just because it's probably about a week underdue, or a week early. You can see all the white seeds right here. Some of these might be okay if you're a home gardener. You know, save those seeds and see what they do. See what they do if you plant them next year. But just because it's a little underripe doesn't mean it won't taste good. So we're gonna do our little taste test. Again, the flesh is pretty tangerine colored. It's crisp. It's almost as sweet. So this is not a fail, but I picked it just because of what the melon looked like, how it sounded, and we're gonna have freezing temperatures or close to them tonight. So, and most watermelon varieties pretty much stop growing at 50 degrees and under just because they need a lot of heat. So I'll have no problem eating this one tonight. But we're gonna put him to the side. And we're gonna save the seeds out of this one. And hopefully those other few down there will mature up in the next week and a half. So we can have a few more watermelons to eat before the end of the year. Like today, I think it's October 5th or 6th. So it's definitely late in the season for up here in Minnesota. You can see just all I do for these is I just put them in a strainer, the mature seeds. Make sure you get as many as you possibly can, or you know, as many as you would like to grow the following year. But I save pretty much everything that's dark seeded. Like this one right here, that one's obviously not quite as dark, so we're not going to bother saving that one. Nope, that one was a little light that got in there. Okay, so just like in my other videos, once you have your seed, just take that into the house. I like to rinse it with warm water. You want to get all the sugars and the seed coatings off. Usually what I do is I just rinse it for like 2 minutes with lukewarm water, maybe a little warmer. Get all the sugars off, then I just leave it right in this strainer for 5 to 7 days. Watermelon seeds are going to take a little longer than, like, obviously pepper and tomato and all that, but I do 5 to 7 days, sometimes a few days longer, you know, if the humidity in your house is a little higher. But yeah, the Lilanu SweetGlo. So yeah, this is definitely one of the better melons I've tried. They take a little longer than obviously like a sugar baby or smaller melon like that, but definitely worth it for up here in Minnesota, especially if you can get them in the ground like late May, early June. Yeah, it's like 70, 80 days from flower to harvest. Definitely worth the wait. Absolutely delicious tangerine orange colored flesh. Sweet, crisp. It's not overly sweet, but it's definitely sweet, and it's one I'm probably going to grow on and off for the rest of my life. So, let me know in the comments what kind of watermelons you guys grow. I've grown somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 varieties of watermelon in the last 20 years. Probably in the neighborhood of 25 to 35 varieties of like melons, honey melons, cantaloupe, honeydew, you know, that kind of stuff. So let me know in the comments. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video or learned something. And subscribe to my channel so you can check out all my gardening videos and fun videos that I got on there. Until next time, this is Jason with Toadstool Gardens. Happy growing! Catch you later.